Good morning to all of you. Good morning to our viewers of Birds and Bulls. And this morning, again, this is Emi Pulido, your anchor host for a 1-hour segment all about real estate. So for this morning, I have guests. My special guest for today is the chairman of the Cura Council of Leaders, and of course, the chairman of the Real Estate Builders Association, or we call it Cura. And also, I'm very proud to say that he is my governor, the past district governor of District 3830 of Rotary. So ladies and gentlemen, I have a pleasure to have today in this show, Governor Jaime Cura. Good morning, Gov.
Good morning, Emi. I'm very pleased to be on your show.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for being with us today. So how are you doing? Shall I call you Dr. Cura? Because
just call me Jimmy.
Jimmy,
we're old friends, Emi.
Okay, so you're now the president of Cura, and Cura is one of the oldest and the most powerful association of real estate. Can you tell us a little more about what Cura is doing?
Well, Cura is 36 years old now.
Wow,
Cura stands for Chamber of Real Estate and Builders Associations Incorporated.
Okay.
And it is considered the umbrella organization for all industry players in the real estate and housing industry. As you know, in our industry, you have developers, you have appraisers, brokers, financiers, suppliers, manufacturers, and distributors. You have professionals like architects, engineers, planners, and MBAs.
These are all under the umbrella of Cura.
Yes, there are about 4,000 of us in the country.
4,000 members, and you have several chapters all over.
Yeah, we have officially about 40 chapters
40
across the nation.
So these are the chapters that you normally visit, normally talk with all these presidents?
Yes, we have. It's like Rotary, with the Rotary clubs. As president of Cura, I have to visit the chapters. I have to induct the new set of officers for the year. Update them on what are the positions of the chamber on emerging issues nationally,
So all these emerging issues nationally about real estate is what you're concerned about?
These are issues that may be economic, socio-political, but which are bound to have an impact on housing and real estate.
Okay. So being the president of Cura, I know that you have several advocacies. I searched on the website last night again. So I'm a member of Cura, but I'm not as active as before. But this time that I'm hosting this all about real estate, I would love to be part again of your very dynamic Cura association.
I like it when you say you visited our Cura website, because we're pretty proud of it. It's a good website to visit, www.cura.ph.
Right, yeah. And you have several advocacies right now. Can you tell us a little more about this mass housing project that is one of the advocacies? Because as early as 2004, I remember that our backlog for housing is about 1 million. May I please know how are we doing about this one right now?
Well, if you call the HUDC, the Housing and Urban Development Coordinating Council, you will be told that the official backlog stands at about 3.8 million houses. But the range, the estimates range from 3.8 all the way to about 5.7 million.
As of 2009?
As of today.
As of today. So 5.8 million backlog as of today.
Yeah, but and if you recall the numbers we had been talking about 20 years ago, we don't think we have moved anywhere.
Okay.
Despite the housing production that seems to continue, the backlog remains the same because
more and more people are getting to be qualified.
Correct, and also the population increase of our country continues to be one of the highest in this part of the world.
So the government is very active, really, in helping the private sector. I would say in coming up with financial packages that would really make the housing project attractive, right? Can you tell us a little more about this Vice President Noli Castro Hachi Chair's move on reduced interest rate? This is something very interesting about.
Well, this is to us very significant because now Filipinos of different socio-economic classes are all able to access some kind of financing for their house, for their dream house, and developers who are in need of financing also for development financing can now turn to institutions of government, principally Pag-ibig, of course.
Pag-ibig.
Pag-ibig has rationalized its program, and this year alone has made something like 30 billion pesos available for housing finance.
So 30 billion available for this year's takeout.
Correct.
It's only for the year.
Yes.
So how much of it has been availed by these many developers? I mean,
well, given the pace at which we have been building houses, I think most of our people will see the progress all over the National Capital Region, all the way to going north through Central Luzon and Northern Luzon, going south to Southern Luzon, and if you fly to the Visayas and Mindanao, you see housing activity in most of the major cities of our country. The 30 billion, I don't know if that has been consumed already by now. I suspect not yet. No?
Not yet. Okay.
And this is one reason why we keep motivating and encouraging the government to be a little bit more efficient in terms of the paperwork, in terms of the systems and procedures that are prerequisites to the release of loans. We do understand the need to be very careful and very circumspect in the approval of applications for loans. But we think that between government and the private sector, we have already enough safeguards in place to make sure that only qualified borrowers are able to access the funds. And therefore, the rest of the government bureaucracy that has anything to do with the approval of licenses, permits, and so on, should move a little faster. The other encouragement we are trying to make is for the other government agencies like the Board of Investment, the Department of Finance, the Bureau of Internal Revenue, and so on, to be a little bit more creative about the package of incentives that they offer to developers of housing. Why? Because at the end of the day, it is the obligation of the state under our Constitution to provide each family with a decent and affordable shelter. And therefore, whatever the private sector is doing to add to the housing stock is really a contribution to the state in the fulfillment of its mandate. And therefore, the faster the state can move in order to motivate the participation of as many sectors in our society and the economy as possible, the better for it.
So right now, definitely there's this batch of buyers and there is these developers, and then the government will be the one to really help the developers in making the funds available. Because the cost of developers is really too much, like buying the land, building the houses, building the amenities. So the developer spends for everything, right? Then after that, it's only then that normally the takeout takes about 6 months, right? After the house has been built, the gestation is from the time the client pays the reservation, the developer takes about 8 months to finish the construction.
It can sometimes take longer.